Hi and welcome again in the EPA Partnership Program. In this lesson, we are going to dive into the first trait of the test, organizational vision. You should have received your test with its report, and you should have your test in front of you as you go through each lesson. So the first test that you're going to learn how to read, interpret, is yours. Okay, so take your test, have it in front of you, print it out, and let's dive right into the meaning of each trait. So organizational vision is, it's kind of, the wording speaks for itself in the sense that it has to do with organization and organizational skills and vision. Okay, so having a vision or having the ability to see something that's not yet here. And the first slide that I'm going to propose to you is this. When you are in real life, you or your clients, okay, so organizational vision is an indicator of how comfortable or at ease or how actively we seek order and organized ways and things. For example, I have a very high organizational vision and like my things to be pretty much tidy and in order and symmetric. And I have all these quirks and neuroses about me. When I was younger, all my friends used to make fun of me, and I don't know if you're familiar with the TV series super famous Friends, but everybody called me Monica. So that gives you an idea of what organizational vision is like. Okay, so the love and passion and natural predisposition to have things in order, tidied up, symmetrical, and clean cut in one way or another. The organizational vision trait is the first trait of the test. Also, I want to point out that these three blue columns refer to your personal efficiency behaviors. So these are the three columns that we'll dive into over the next lessons, but organizational vision, self-motivation, and self-discipline are the heart of personal efficiency. There's another column down the road that is included in the personal efficiency algorithm, but we will see that later on. For now, you should understand that these first few lessons are all about maximizing your client's personal efficiency. So what does organizational vision indicate? It indicates how much the person knows or is able to establish the ideal scenario that they should bring about or maintain in their life or work. So it has to do with really seeing something that's not yet here, okay, that is very passionately desired or wanted or needed. So it therefore indicates how well the individual is able to plan and organize themselves to achieve that scenario, or whether they simply deal with whatever comes their way. So organizational vision tells us how easy it is for your client to have a vision and then to map out actions and behaviors to materialize, to bring that vision into reality. This characteristic, organizational vision, this trait, is not low only when people are confused or unfocused individuals. It is sometimes also found low in individuals who are overworked or who have accepted many compromises in their life or work. So if you're looking at, for example, an employee or a team member that is very organized in real life, but has a low trait, this might be because they're actually doing 2 or 3 jobs on their own and they are stretched very thin. Okay, so this is why the delivery part of the test is very important. It is also low when an inadequate organizational system is used or when there is no clear and effective job description, so that people are shuffled around and do not really know what to take care of. So sometimes you see a person who is naturally organized and knows what they're supposed to be doing, but because their environment around is so scattered brain and confusing and confused and disorganized, they will have a low trait. Okay, so it is important to have to ask questions to make sure that you understand, you know how to contextualize an eventual low score. So what do we mean by compromises? Okay, because we have seen in the previous slide that if I have a lot of compromise, I've made a lot of compromises in my life or at work, this will tend to lower my trait, even if I am naturally predisposed for order and cleanliness and tidiness and symmetry and all those things. When a person accepts many compromises, they lose the ability to imagine or to see a different future or scenario. So if I am stuck in a lot of compromises, a compromise is when I say yes, when I accept something that is not really true for me, or doesn't really honor me, or in some way betrays my values, right? So if I have a lot of compromises, the part of me that is visionary and creative will be subdued. It will tend to somehow implode. And so they begin to withdraw. And little by little, without realizing, it is their job or the situation that they have accepted as true in the compromise ends up managing them. So rather than the other way around. So we want our clients to be empowered to create and organize their time, their space, their projects. But if they are stuck in compromises, they lose this ability, or it is diminished, or it is subdued, or it is caged. Okay, so the straight organizational vision also declines because by organizing their work or that of other employees poorly, they become overloaded. And after a while, whether they want to or not, they are no longer able to properly follow the numerous activities they are supposed to carry out. So overwhelm will tend to lower this trait. Someone who is covering multi-roles and is stretched very thin will tend to have a lower trait if they're not taught certain ways to get this back on track, even if they are naturally predisposed for order. Okay,